It's me. It's me. It's DST. I'll make my own intro on that though. So we have the Eastern Conference semifinals. Game 5 between the Philadelphia 76 Conference and the Miami Heat, heading into an elimination game with Miami taking the lead 3-2, heading into Game 6, probably in another home or road game, depended on. I was not paying much attention because I had work. But other than that, this has been an exciting series over a big start, over the loss of Joel Embiid, and a sudden, massive improvement coming from the Miami Heat around Game 5. They came up to ball with a lot of great splits, a lot of good shooting splits, transitions over the fast break. Vincent always using his interesting and unique layup packages coming around off a highly leaning finger roll. Let's go over Joel Embiid. It only marked 14 points. James Harden had 14 points. Joel Embiid came marking 6 points in the first half after marking over 15 consecutive points in the last 2 games he played over the playoff series. This was in the worst shooting splits. He came around bricking and he had to utilize over 1-and-1 from the fourth quarter, missing over the hook, missing over consecutive contested jumpers, and just Tobias Harris just not carrying the load this time. The guy went 5 of 14 from the field. Nobody, even Joel Embiid, you think his long range would be done. They try to square him up post. Duncan Robinson, best case scenario, down the bench. He played exceptional tonight. When coming around shooting over pick and pop, swing passes over handoffs, he'll come around from top of the key. There was just no aggression made, and like the Sixers, when they get hot, they get hot. When they need to play aggressive, they'll play aggressive. But they need to play aggressive as soon as the ball is on their hand. They can't just be reliant on Harden just isoing up and not making sure the play revolves around ball movement, because that's what the Miami Heat did. Because Jimmy Butler came around with 23 points. PJ Tucker came over a clutch block. He went 2 for 2 from behind the arc. Barely missed over his corner threes. Shot the ball when he needed to. I like that, but he did try to... there was some foul calls that I wish that did happen, especially when he missed out a block when Tobias Harris gave him a bit of contact over a fast break that he tried to do by himself. Gabe Vincent played well, 15 points off him. So did Max Strus, just hitting some amazing long-range shots from deep, marking over 19 points. All of the starting 5 scored over 10 points, including both Victor Oladipo with 13 and Tyler Hero with 10. That was more on the interior side of the ball. And you'd think different because of how long-range reliant we are on Tyler Hero. He missed 2 of his open threes whenever trying to move up, step out. They're trying to put chest passes into the corner, and Tyler Hero just can't capitalize on it. You got to give it over to Jimmy Butler. I sewed up off the post and just hit a fadeaway right there on Tobias Harris's face. I don't know if DeAndre Jordan wouldn't make a difference because offensive rebounding was obviously, hustle plays DeAndre Jordan can't do. So, but Kirk Maz and Georges Nedge needs to leave. How do you get 16 minutes for minus 21 on your plus minus? You do nothing on the court, bro. Nedge scored an amazing 0 points off Shake Milton doing more on the bench than anybody else. Matisse Thybulle just scoring more off of foul shots than he is actually producing over in the court. Shake Milton's just there to hustle, grab the rebound, transition, give it to Harden where he'll just brick. It was just embarrassing to see. I'm glad that we got the 30 ball around the fourth quarter. It was around 70 to 100 already in the fourth. And DJ Khaled coming over a missed pass. I remember Danny Green was trying to hit up over the wing to goddamn Tobias Harris for an open shot he could have pulled up, but he overshot it and hit it over courtside. Like, they're playing amateur hour in the second half when your prime best center isn't producing, guys. Somebody needs to step up. Now, as much as I really like to see the Miami Heat pick up a win, I was expecting a bit more of a competitive game, but it seems like the Sixers just couldn't handle it, and it ends up blowing up on their faces, involving now the Heat lead over to the series. That's not going to be a good look for the Sixers going forward. Now, Joel Embiid needs to produce more off his shots. That means they have to go in. Harden needs to know how to play more transition based. Like when he gets the ball, when it's necessary, he has to goddamn score. Miami, they need to like hit up their open shots when they need to. Press on defense. PJ needs to make sure he's not getting into foul trouble. It did suck seeing him take that hard foul over by Tobias Harris when he was trying to stop him from making that cut layup he made when he was crossing down baseline. I mean, the same thing you would blame off Embiid's performance as well for getting hit with the basketball after getting blocked and him hitting in the face and him whining like a little bitch, even though he's getting protected by a black face mask. Wasn't it banned from the NBA anyway? It just looks like he's. I know he's trying to protect his nose or something. This looks like some type of terrible plastic surgery. But Miami played incredibly well. Gabe Vincent just as Max Strauss does a more amazing job. The guy went 4 for 10 from behind the arc. The more at least effective shooter in my mind, even though sometimes he'll just shoot it when he needs to think he can get it from above from a handoff, and think all because it's a high screen he'll just pull it up. Just be more efficient on that. 40% from the field isn't that bad, but more consistency, especially around the way he plays, would be a lot better. Everybody had their effectiveness into the game. Dwayne Dedman hustles around, didn't grab much on the match-to-match screen, but he was there defensively. Highsmith did well, dropping 6 points effectively over to the fast break around the fourth quarter. Caleb Martin, I expect a lot more from him, but Dedman, Duncan Robinson did a well done job. Tyler Hero scored when it was necessary and when it was important. So this was a very clutched out game for the Miami Heat to come with great momentum on home court. Shout out to DJ Khaled, that was their courtside, coming around and hyping up Eric Spoelstra. But this is do or die for the 76ers right now if they can clutch it up and pick up this massive win on Game 6. They're obviously a team anticipating trying to make it to the next series. So there's a lot that goes into this. But in my opinion, I thought the Sixers, they weren't shit when they came into the series. They're not an Eastern Conference type of team. People would more enclose that with the Boston Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks trying to repeat, or the Miami Heat trying to be the Black Horse again, even though we've been the best team in the Eastern Conference. Excuse me. But that's all I expect. We played our best game when we needed it the most, and hopefully we can play it again around Game 6. And I don't know if we'll be still at home at that time. I'm going to check it right there, make sure this doesn't waste everybody's time while they're still watching. Da 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 da! While that's going on, Grizzlies will have to survive Game 5. And let me see. I think this... Yeah, we'll be back at Philadelphia for Game 6. In majority of our lost games, whenever we take control, it is by double digits. So it's either one team makes a mistake and it costs for the rest of the game, and hopefully Miami doesn't do that. That's it coming from the DST show, and just goddamn, that's a nice way to heat up the competition. I promise I wouldn't do that on stream, not on my upload. Thanks for watching the DST show. That's it for me, and let's go Heat.